maybe I'll start by saying just a few words about Intigral, because maybe some of you don't know who Intigral is. So Intigral is a joint venture that has been created by STC, Saudi Telecom Group, in 2009 to really support all the content and VAS strategy of STC. It's a joint venture with STC and with also Astro, which is a media group in Asia. We are based between Dubai and Riyadh, and we are really supporting all the work of STC and also some other operators in the field of ecosystem management, working with service providers, content providers, but also developers. So this morning we'll look at the Saudi market because it's a huge market. So I will start to really look at some key trends about this market, about how people are consuming mobile application, mobile internet. What are the key elements to take into account when you develop apps for this market. We will also look at a very big initiative we are announcing today, which is the STC developer community. And there is a booth where you will be able to have a lot of information about it. And then we'll look at a concrete example of a joint work with the developer where we have been really customizing games for the Saudi market to really appeal to the local taste. So first, what are the key trends on this market? Overall, it's really important to look at mobile internet usage is huge. It's accelerating, it's booming. And overall, there is 47% of the Saudi population that is using mobile internet. So you also see that 85% of the mobile internet users that were part of a survey have downloaded apps. So apps consumption is huge. And there were recently some figures that were mentioned by some big OEM. There are millions of downloads happening every day on the Saudi market. It's a very big market. Also, there were some statistics from Flurry regarding the time spent on apps. And you see that overall, worldwide, there is a very big appetite for working on interacting with apps in the Saudi market. It's one of the biggest markets where really people are spending the biggest amount of time during an application session. Also, in terms of potential, if you look at iOS and Android, these two platforms are really booming at the moment in Saudi Arabia. But there is overall a very big potential of growth that is to come. And we see a very strong acceleration of smartphone devices. More and more operators like STC are really subsidizing devices, really pushing the acceleration of data traffic and data usage. And this gives really a fantastic platform for developers and for application providers. And something also important is the ARPU in Saudi Arabia is extremely high. So this is also something to take into account. It's a market where people are used to pay. It's a premium market. Something also important to look at how people are accessing internet. And there is, it's an interesting survey where basically what you can see is today, you see a big shift in how people are accessing mobile internet. And most of now the internet access is happening via the mobile phone. This is, at the end of 2012, you will see that more than 23% of access in internet will be via mobile phone. And more than 37% will be via tablets. So this is a very significant trend, is that now internet is becoming really a media across multi-screens, across multiple types of devices. And it's something really to take into account. If you want to be successful, if you want to really have a mass market success, you need to develop on all platforms. You need to really bring this multi-platforms, multi-OS, multi-screens experience. This is something very important. And if you look from the operator perspective, we are more and more working on services that bring convergence between these multi-screens. Also, in terms of operating system, historically, Nokia had a very big market share in Saudi Arabia. And we see now a very strong pickup from BlackBerry in terms of operating system. So these are some trends, until May 2011. If you look at almost, the next 10 months, there has been an explosion of iOS and Android. But overall, BlackBerry is also a very significant platform. So it's really important, that if you want to reach scale, if you want to reach volume, make sure that you are really covering all the platforms and not only iOS and Android. Something also to take into account when you want to monetize your apps, when you want to do premium revenues, is also to look at the billing possible. Because today, for example, Android do not offer any premium capabilities on the Saudi market. So this is something that need to be taken into account. So it means that you will need to go only with ad-funded model when you develop your applications. Also, it's a very interesting comparison between Saudi Arabia and UAE. It's important to note that in Saudi Arabia, more than 60% of the population is less than 25 years old. So it's a very, very big, very young market where people are technology savvy. They are really into devices, into social networks. And in fact, when you look at the usage today, it's, as you know, it's one of the biggest markets worldwide for YouTube consumption. It's really something that was highlighted by Google a few months ago. It's a significant market, and you see that video consumption, social network consumption is significant. It's also a market where gaming is huge. Online gaming, it's for most of the biggest web online providers. Saudi Arabia is really definitely the biggest market. So this is also a market where Facebook is exploding, where more and more people will use all their credits to interact and to go into multi-screen social gaming experience. So when you look at developing application, really take all these factors into account, that you are targeting a young audience. You need to bring really the entertainment dimension. So you can, for example, look at bringing education application, but turn them into an edutainment dimension, because that's where you will get the buzz. That's where you will really get the market appeal. So if you look at, as I said, 47% of the population is accessing mobile internet, and we see, a lot of big online use, of social networks. 93% of the people going online are using a social network. We see also that the level of engagement, as I said, people are spending a lot of time on their apps, is the same on social networks. There is really a very strong appetite to really interact with people. And there is something important, because sometimes we forget, women is a very, very important segment. We see a very strong demand for mobile entertainment services. And what we can see today is they represent 47% of the mobile internet usage. So really, when you develop application, when you develop services, think about the target segments, think about the added value you will bring to this segment. So clearly, something important, as there is this explosion of traffic, this explosion of page impression being on internet or on mobile, the overall cost for an impression is quite cheap in comparison to many markets like in Western Europe or in the US. So it means that online advertising is a cheap media that can really get you immediate sales of your product. So it's something really to take into account, is that sometime with just few hundreds US dollars, you can have a huge impact on the takeoff of your service. Last but not least, video. Video is huge, and video on demand. We see more and more time shift video consumption in the Saudi market. It's important to point out that in Saudi there is no cinema, so a lot of the video consumption is, of course, on TV, but it's also on mobile devices and on tablets. So if you look at, a recap just about the Saudi market, it is overall, in terms of mobile services, it is a huge market. In many cases, it is bigger than many big Western European markets, because the ARPU is very high. There is a very high level of penetration. You have almost 2 SIM cards per inhabitant. So it's quite significant. So people are really, yeah, there is a very big consumption. And something really key is today when you develop an application, if you want to be differentiated, if you want to really appeal to the market, you need to support the Arabic language. And in fact, 47% of the people are really willing to, really enjoy having an Arabic interface, and that's something that has a big impact on the usage, on the downloads. There is already a very big market, very significant market for smartphone. Many people say that to be successful in Middle East, you need first to be big in Saudi. This is really a market where you will get the download and where you will get the revenue you are looking at. And something also, overall, as I said, more than 20% of all the mobile phone users have tablets. And this is something that you will need to take into account. Tablets, this second screen device is really the device you are using when you are in front watching TV. So it's really a social extension. It augments the way you consume video, the way you consume, other media. So it's really important to take this into account whenever you want to build some very interesting social interaction for people. So if we look at, what are the biggest challenges for an operator like STC is to really, when we look at the overall market, today, worldwide, you look at iOS, they have 150,000 developers. You look at Android, they have also the same amount of developers. But overall, in Middle East, only 2% of the worldwide developers are Arabic, are from Middle East. So overall, when you look at the Apple App Store, there are just about 1,000 applications. So it means that there is a huge potential because it's really markets where you have the appetite, where you have the scale, in terms of population, and where there is a very strong acceleration of smartphone devices. So it's really something important is what we want. We want to pave the way in these regions to really stimulate and really work toward, having more and more Arabic apps and working with the local developers. So how can we encourage this Arabic mobile content? Because at the end, this is really what matters. STC has an ambition is to really create a new digital ecosystem for developers and also for its customer to create this virtual cycle that will get for the developers clear monetization tool, the volume, marketing support, discovery, but also, for the customers, an access to a vast amount of applications. So what STC want is to, as a lead in terms of innovation in the region, we want to really support, apps and really bring a very strong local application store with a local application developer community, really something that appeal to the local market needs. So we are supporting innovators, developers, entrepreneurs within the frame of this newly launched developer community. So what is our proposition? First, it's marketing, because you know that today, worldwide, in many markets, the time, your application on the Apple App Store appear as new is less than 30 seconds. So one of the biggest challenge for developers is they think that they've created the best apps, but today, they don't really have the marketing support to really get the visibility, because at the end, what matters is discovery is really accessing the audience. And this is an area where STC can support you in terms of making sure that your product appeals to the market, in also looking at co-branding apps capabilities, and also in helping you in merchandising, in retailing, your apps with all the visibility, with all the bulk message campaign, on all the discovery, on all the different platforms. There is, on this promotion, is something that is really important. You need, whenever you launch an app, to be on social networks. You need to really appear, and really get all this coordinated promotion, if you want to really have an impact. And this is an area where STC can help you. And you will see on our developer sites that there will be a lot of information for you. We are platform agnostic, so we are bringing an application store called the STC App Shop that will support every single platform on the market. STC is is the mass, is really reaching the highest number of people in the Saudi market. More than 35 million SIM cards, from STC are deployed in Saudi Arabia. So we want to serve all platforms. So we are neutral, and we want to make sure that developers will find all the tools, all the SDKs to really develop on the platforms. And there will be forums, there will be testing support, on the devices. You will be able to access experts. All the SDKs, from all the large developer communities will be available on the developer community. Okay. So something also very, very important is billing. In order to make money for you, you need a way to bill users. And today, if you look at the penetration of credit card usage, in the Saudi market, or even how the premium revenue are done on the Apple App Store, it is a challenge because there is no operator billing. And this is something that STC can bring you from day one. On every platform, you will have operator billing connectivity, except on iOS because it's a separate environment. But it will be the first market where you will be able to get premium revenues on your Android apps with this billing. On something important in terms of payouts for you, you will be able to make 65% of the revenue that will be generated by your app. So it's quite a significant effort also from STC to support the developers and to really support, and attract the best developers. And in order to really continue the momentum, we are creating an application awards, something that will be started in a few weeks. That will enable to get, for the best developers, awards in multiple categories. So there is a category that will be for students. There is education. There are games, sports application, religious application. And you will have, for the best developer, $20K US given, if you win on a category, $10K US if you are the second prize, and $5K if you are the third prize. And we will support, there will be a lot of interaction with all the developers for this application award. And we want to make it really a big success, and we want to attract innovation and creativity in our markets. So the date for this this application awards, it will start later in April, and we will have, you will need to submit your applications on the 1st of June, and then there will be a review. On end of June, we will know the winners. So it's really important to take into account that we need an application with Arabic language, and we need also, ideally, to have an application on multiple platforms, because if you support more and more platforms, you will have more and more points, and you will be more eligible to win, in a category. So this is the website where, just to tease you, we'll just turn it on tomorrow. So then you will wait just tomorrow, and you will be able to access it and to really find a lot of information about this STC developer community. So I will go to the most entertaining part of the presentation. We look at a case study, how we have been bringing, games that was a big hit into a very strong proposition for the local market. So I'm inviting Dawood Moana from Intigral to explain you this case study.
First of all, can you guys hear me? The guys in the back, you can hear me? Okay. My name is Dawood Mohanna. I am the mobile communication manager at Intigral. And we developed a silly and entertaining game with these fine gentlemen over here, Game Cooks. Sorry. But before I start, being a Saudi growing up in Saudi Arabia. What's this for? Why not? Which one?
To move from one slide to the
Yes. All right. Sorry. Being a Saudi growing up in Saudi Arabia, playing video games, we always fantasized about having Saudi characters and Saudi landmarks in the video games. I am pretty sure that every single person in Saudi Arabia, who's Saudi Arabian, that ever played Need for Speed fantasized that game was taking place in the streets of Riyadh, being chased by the traffic police of Saudi Arabia. I don't know, there's something about it. If you grew up in a culture similar to Saudi Arabia, you would understand what I'm talking about. Because all video games, they always have, environments from the States, from Africa, from Europe, from Japan, but you never see Saudi Arabia inside a video game now, do you? So fast forwarding into the future, here we are about to realize a taste of our dream. We have obtained this beautiful game. We call it Guns Time. This name, by the way, was created by people, the developer, the users, not by us. This game is a spin-off of a already successful game called Birdie Num Num, which has more than 1 million downloads, I believe. Yes. So we took the Birdie Num Num idea and we sort of Saudiized it. We just added a few drops of Saudi culture. The game was very simple. You have these insane, psychotic birds attacking the Saudi cities, and you have to kill them all. Let me stand over here. Okay. This is how you play the game. The first version of the game is going to take you through 8 Saudi cities. Each Saudi city is a level, and once you pass it, you move on to the next Saudi city. And what we did here is we distributed the cities evenly on the map to ensure that regardless of what area you are from in Saudi Arabia, chances are you're going to play a game that is in your region. You know, what did I just do? Did I just do something? Oh, sorry. Okay. Now, before I go back into the presentation here, I forgot to mention one thing. Now, why is it so important to customize and Saudiize video games? Because, very simply, it makes it more personal, it makes it more engaging, it makes it more entertaining, and simply, it makes it more fun. And if your video game becomes all those things, chances are people are going to talk about it, and that's the whole point, is for people to talk about it. When you play the games, each level or city is a sort of a Saudi postcard. And so by the time you're done with the whole game, you will have had, I suck at grammar, you will have had gone through sort of a tour of Saudi Arabia. And the cool thing is, yes, people have seen Riyadh, people have seen Jeddah, but you know, very rarely, almost I think never, do you ever see Abha and Jubail Industrial City in a video game of all things. Okay? And we have those. Of course, also just to show you real quick, by the way, I have no idea why this screen over here is so much more awesome than this screen. I mean, what's going on here? Huh? No, I think it's that thing over there. That what do you call it? TV light is just killing the screen. Anyway, this game will take you through Rub' al-Khali, Riyadh, Qasim, and for the final battle, which will be in Tabuk. The characters, the bird characters that you're supposed to kill in the video game are these annoying and silly-looking Arab birds that you have to shoot, all of them basically. And all the sounds produced by all the birds are man-made, let me say. They were done by us, and with the help of a few friends who are behind the voiceovers of the famous YouTube show Musamir. They helped us do the VOs, and we thank those guys. Okay, enough blah blah. Let's show you the game.
I just want to introduce you to Lebnan Nader from Games Cooks, who is our game developer partner. Now it's my turn to lose. And that's what happens when you lose. Okay, so I have
final word about this game. It has 8 levels right now, and in the future, as we roll out more upgrades, you will see more Saudi cities and more Saudi towns, and more real, insightful, and sort of unknown territories in Saudi Arabia that hopefully we can unearth and put on the screen. Thank you.
So we really count on you. The innovation is coming from you, and we really hope you will be many to join the STC developer community. Thank you very much.